Do you recall writing this intro? Was this intro just always like this, or did you have like the chorus and the bulk of the song, and then you, Stefan, and Carl kind of worked this intro up, or did you write the intro from the get go?
The Clean Sheets is one of the ones where it really kind of came to me all at once in a big flurry, and I woke up and it was kind of all there. Although, funny, I didn't have a last verse. And the very, very last verse, those are Bugs lyrics.
No kidding.
Like, I woke up this morning alone on the floor, thinking about Clean Sheets the way it was before. Looked in the mirror, saw your face, and thought of the past, took my fist and smashed the glass. That Bug wrote that whole verse.
No kidding.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's awesome. I did not know that.
But yeah, like all the guitar riffs, those all came with the with the dream. When I get those dreams, I don't get them that often, but when I do, then it's a whole finished thing.
You talked to me about that the last time we did this. You said you've had full compositions. You woke up and they were there. I've never done that. I've dreamt that I was writing, or we've all had those dreams. We're trying to get to the stage and someone's chasing us and there's a 50-pound, weight attached to our leg, and those nightmare type dreams. But I've never had a finished song wake up and it be there. That's unbelievable.
I've never had the 50-pound weight one. Funny though, I'm not really able to do the whole like pick a guitar up and strum some chords and then like sing a melody over it. Kind of like, what if I go to A flat? Oh, well, how about C sharp minor? I can't really do that. I mean, I wish I could, because I could be more prolific, but I don't have to just kind of hang out and wait for these like things to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, I didn't write it. It just showed up, showed up one day, and there it was.
No,
Sometimes I have to work on it to figure out what it is, like the fingering on the guitar or the fingering on the bass, but it's all in my head, yeah.
Right. And has that ever been frustrating with certain guitar players? I know by now you can just look at Stefan and he'll understand musically where you're kind of going with a track. But back then, was it ever difficult for you to get what was brewing in your head out if you couldn't figure out what you were going for on guitar? Because I've done that. I've had something in my head.
I always figure it out, because I mean, when I was in my formative period here, I played a lot of guitar. I mean, I would play hours and hours of guitar, and a lot of bass too. My first song was My Age. I wrote it on the bass.
Mm-hmm.
And second song was Bikeage, and I wrote that on the bass too. The melody part.
Sure.
So I've always approached it from every angle: guitar, bass, vocals, drums. I'm not like and that kind of also makes me not be a good. I'm not a good like drummer. You know the guys that have like their six in their socks and they have a drum key necklace, the Zildjian shirt. Like, I mean, I'm cool with that, but they're like drummers. They're into drumming.
Yeah,
they're into the paradiddles. They're into the flamadapoo or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and I'm not. I'm not that kind of drummer. But I make up for it by knowing my way around. Kind of any instrument you hand me, if you give me an hour to fiddle with it, I'll play you something.
Well, I've talked about that in the show. The drummers that I've met and that I've worked with that don't play guitar and don't play another instrument, it's sometimes very difficult to get them to hear where you want an accent or where you want a part. And I think that that's so important. I've always encouraged younger drummers. I'll say to them, do you play any other instruments? Well, no. Why? I'm like, you should pick up a guitar. It'll help you later on. Did you ever think about that in those terms?
People are tone deaf too.
Right.
I mean, I'm not putting them down, but it's crazy. So at the studio, at the blasting room, we have our internship thing where, we every 6 months we take on a couple new interns for 6 months or for more if if they prove to be promising, you know, we probably end up hiring them, you know. But
yeah.
But so that my first thing when I'm interviewing the intern is, first thing I go, sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," and then I go, okay, sing "Happy Birthday." And if they can't sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat" and "Happy Birthday," I don't mean to sing it well, but I mean to acknowledge that there are notes and melody and rhythm and phrasing.
Yes.
Then I tell them they should try to have a career that's not in music, you know, because I feel like I'm doing them a favor by telling them that.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe it could be like, well, no, I can still be a drummer, can I?
Well, yeah, and drummers are unfairly put down for that sometimes too. All you could do is hit things. You can't. You're not musical, and that's not true either. But verse 1, Bill, I'm going to read these lyrics, and you know, you touched on kind of the, you know, what the song's about at the top, but I'm gonna have you set these up for us. Clean sheets mean a lot to a guy who sleeps on the floor. I wanted your love and a shelf on your dresser drawer. You tucked me in. Stop my tossing and turning, but I turned back the covers and saw those sheets are dirty. Now, those lyrics came in a dream as well?
Yeah, ish. You know, half of them are kind of not the words themselves, but the feeling of the verse, like the feeling of it, sort of. Mm-hmm. I can't explain it. I can't explain how that works. But yeah, it was I was kind of feeling maybe like, you know, feeling really loved and cared for, and kind of, you know, driving up and spending the night with this person. And, you know, I thought, well, I'm cool. This is cool for me. Like I sleep on the floor in the practice room, but I can go up there and I can get a shower, and, you know, maybe I could start keeping a couple of my things in her room, you know, just so I wouldn't have to haul them back and forth or whatever. I don't know. But then, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, just juxtaposing the kind of safety and comfort of that with the stark reality that, like, well, guess what? Everybody's human and they do good things and bad things. You know, nobody's one thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody's one thing. Everybody's both things. Everybody's good. Everybody's bad.